3 years ago, the word minimalist terrified me. Like it had to be this perfect kept home, no clutter at any point. It was always tidy and always clean. And achieving that felt insurmountable. It felt, I couldn't even imagine it. It was a very scary word for me at the beginning of this journey. And I didn't want to feel a scarcity about stuff. I didn't want to not have what I might need. So I had a hard time letting go of things. And the entire ideal of living with less overwhelmed me in the beginning. And all I really wanted to do was declutter enough to feel organized about my home and my life. And when I started down this journey of decluttering and living with less, I realized how deciding what to keep became more important than deciding what to declutter. And when I break down the word minimalism into actionable phrases like, what do I want? What do I want this space to do for me? What do I want this shelf to look like? It feels more possible. And when I take it one section at a time, one task at a time, it feels a lot easier to accomplish. A lot easier to put things away and to tidy my kitchen in 5 minutes. And to have my home and my life feel more simple. Each morning the kids finish their checklist, they do their chores, they have breakfast, and they do a little math and reading, and then they have 1 hour of screen time to spend. They can spend it on the TV, playing Minecraft on the computer, or on their iPads with these prescribed games that we already have on there. And during this time, I give the house a reset so that I feel a little more organized to set off the day. Welcome to the channel. My name is Erica Lucas, and I am passionate about making my life simple, sharing videos here on YouTube that may help you also simplify your life. If that's something for you, let's walk this journey together. I have been seeking simple for years now. After I discovered decluttering, the amount of clutter that we used to have not only cluttered my home, it cluttered my mind. I was stressed from the clutter. I wanted to be able to find a specific board game to make playing easy and fun. I couldn't do it. I didn't know where anything was. And to get to anything, I had to move a lot of things to find the one thing that I was even looking for. I want to be able to play, have fun, and make it easy for the kids to clean up and put back too. I wanted to make my life more simple to accomplish so I could focus on what mattered most, which was being together. And I was so taxed and stressed by not being able to easily do that, I was lost. And now, 3 years later, I think of myself as a minimalist. The word minimalish feels more forgiving, easier to achieve. I think of myself as a minimalist, especially with 3 young kids. I am always tidying, always cleaning, always doing dishes. I am perpetually looking for stuff to declutter and figuring out how my personal process of decluttering works in each season of life. What I got rid of 3 years ago makes sense, and it's not something I might choose 3 years later. Each season of life brings a different set of vision of what I want to accomplish, what I want to get rid of. And that journey led to understanding that minimalism is subjective, and it didn't have to be a perfect, tidy house, a perfectly clean house. I just had to focus on decluttering my calendar, my mind, and my stuff, and just choosing to keep the things we really want to improve our lives. The phrase living with less feels like a possible segment of minimalism for me. It's an achievable aspect of minimalism without actually becoming a minimalist. And many of you watching might connect to that you want to live with less. You want to declutter permanently and avoid the clutter creeping back in your life by thinking of your life as living with less instead of living as a minimalist. I want to live with less in this kitchen drawer. I want to live with less books. I want to live with less toys and not have to worry about that word minimalist. For me, the evolution from decluttering to minimalism has been a wondrous 3-year journey. I have been thinking about my life as practical minimalist living for a long time now. With 3 kids and a husband who are not minimalists, the practical part of that phase is really important to me. We make a lot of mess, a lot of messes, but it's easy to tidy now compared to the past. My kids are not minimalists, but they know that I am. I teach them how to figure out their own decluttering process and see how their decisions impact other people. So by decluttering perfectly good toys that they don't actually play with, they can think about it as another child who can enjoy them. My daughter specifically, she's 7, she struggles when she outgrows clothes. She gets very upset when clothes don't fit her anymore. She loves her clothes and doesn't like to have to let go of them when they no longer fit her. So that's something I am gently helping guide her through. And now, figuring out my own minimalist journey, my children reap the benefits of the lessons that I've learned. We have more open space in our home now, which means more space for them to play, create, invent. A less busy calendar means less strain on them and on me, and more time for being together and focusing on their development at home. Learning to cope with change and regulating their behavior, developing executive functioning. These are all things that we're working on with the little ones at home, and it's hard to do when you're in the car every single day. In fact, a small joint study out of the University of Colorado and University of Denver studied the schedules of 76-year-olds, and they found that kids who spent more time in less structured activities had more highly developed self-directed executive function. I'll leave an article link below for that survey that I had read. And that makes a lot of sense, right? I mean, giving them free play, unstructured free play at home or at the playground will develop their ability for self-directed executive functioning. I mean, I talk all the time with friends and family about how growing up in my childhood, I'm 46, I used to get on my bike and be gone for the whole day. And if you fell off your bike and you hurt your knee, you scraped your knee, you got up and you got on your bike and you went and found your friends. You didn't, lay down and wait for somebody to come to you. There was a tenacity, a grit that we learned as kids then that kids today, I think, are having a harder time developing because we don't let them go on their bikes and just go out and ride their bikes at the age of 8 for hours all day. Be home for dinner and drink from the hose if you're thirsty. We don't allow that anymore. And it's just a different kind of childhood. And so when you think about that and you think about this survey, yeah, that makes sense. Less, just unstructured play is fantastic for children. I have come to learn the value of balancing that unstructured playtime and organized activities like sports, of, making sure they're in sports so that they learn to play as a team, communication, how to make a friend, how to be a friend, learning their own strengths and their weaknesses, how to cope with loss and how to win with grace. There's so much that comes from playing organized sports outside the house, and there's a lot that comes from unstructured playtime. And nowadays, that's what parents struggle with, finding the ability to create that balance for them. And here's the reason I even thought about the content for this video today. My oldest kid is in 3rd grade. He's in 4 different sports: karate, swim lessons, soccer, gymnastics. Plus, he has schoolwork. He has a homeschool co-op program and an outdoor leadership program and Boy Scouts. That is such a busy schedule for an 8-year-old. And now you layer in my second child's schedule of 2nd grade soccer, gymnastics, karate, swim, Girl Scouts, and homeschool co-op. And my youngest is starting kindergarten and wants to do swim lessons and soccer. He also has to tag along to all of those sports and to co-op, even though he doesn't want to participate, which is teaching him a different kind of lesson. So 4 sports in one season for my oldest 2 feel like too much. And we haven't even started the sports yet. That starts in 6 weeks. He's doing 3 sports year-round already: karate, swim, and gymnastics. Same with her. And adding in soccer feels like this tipping point that we're already adding to a heavy schedule. So it's just something I've been kind of considering as we break into fall is, how do I want to balance? And, one way obviously is to make the child choose which sports are the most important and they want to do in this particular season. And we're struggling with making sure that you know, they still have swim lessons because we have a pool in the backyard, and they have gained so much confidence from swim lessons in the last year and a half. They all go underwater now. They can all save themselves when they panic and swim to the edge. They're doing really, really well. And that's because of the diligence of weekly swim lessons and prioritizing the importance of learning to swim. They love karate. They love gymnastics. How do you choose between things that you love? And that's really what minimalism comes down to. What do you love the most? What is most important to you? And what do you want to make sure you have the time and the space for in your life? And for me now, on this side of minimalism, I want to be able to quickly clean my dishes and put things away and tidy up my kitchen so that I can sit and enjoy a Netflix show without feeling guilty about getting up and being productive. I want the kids to have some autonomy and some independence and to get through that checklist as a team for the house chores section, and then get through their own personal checklist to learn hygiene and self-care and the importance of being a participating member in the house. And then I'm not here to clean up all of your messes. I think here now I've achieved that. What I've wanted and what I thought it was going to be in the beginning is not what it turned out to be. I thought it was going to be clutter-free, tidy, and perfect all the time. That's what I thought I had to achieve. And that was a really nice lesson to learn over the last few years, is that that's not it. It needs to be, minimalism needs to be what you need it to be. And for me, I need it to be easy and simple, but still live our lives. We live in this house. We are going to have messes. We're going to have board games that get mixed up. We're going to have unorganized toy bins. But I want to be able to quickly toss everything in a toy bin and call it a day. And it's just about achieving a balance for what you want in your life and what's most important. I hope this video helped you in any way that you need it. Would love for you to subscribe for future videos. And here's another one to watch.